the election of Madike and his executive following a petition filed by candidates who contested against them. As far as they are concerned, then, Keba Jallow and his executive are back as leaders of the PPP. But the newly elected Madike Fall side said Jallow and his camp are staging a coup d'etat. We will catch up with the latest on that issue within the PPP. We also welcome a member of the Gambian diaspora on their perspective about, one, the need for the diaspora to vote, as well as their reactions to the speeches of both former President Jammeh and President Barrow, in which he significantly announced his intention to run for president for a third time. I have also with me Seth Matijau from the Civic Society. He will help me go through all these things. So let me introduce my panelists. To the left, I've told you I have Karafa Sambou. He comes from the side of the PPP that's won the elections at the Congress, led by Usman Madike Fall. Mr. Sambou, welcome.
Thank you.
Seth Mate, of course, very well known to our viewers on the program. So let me go to Sadio Gassama. He stayed in London. He's been in the United Kingdom, rather in Birmingham, I guess now.
In Warsaw.
Warsaw.
No, Warsaw.
Yeah, Warsaw is near Birmingham.
Yeah.
Yes, and he's been in the UK for the last 14, 15 years or so.
20 now.
20 now! Wow, that's it. and he's been following Gambian affairs and will give us the perspective of Gambian diaspora. One, on the issue of diaspora voting. Two, what is the feeling among Gambians when President Barrow said he is going to contest for the third term, as well as the rantings, if you like to call it, of former President Barrow. Sadio, welcome to the brunch.
Thank you.
And welcome back home.
Thank you.
Good, let's move on to the PPP. Like I said in the preamble, the party that led Gambia to independence has gone into some troubles over the last couple of weeks after their national election. The second one, I guess, or maybe the third one since the 2018 one, when the party was revived after the Jammeh dictatorship, which banned the party. But like I said, soon after the elections, two camps emerged. One of them led by Usman Madike Fall, who won the elections at the Congress. And with me in the studio is Karafa Sambou, who comes from that side. So Karafa, okay, what we understand is that your leader, Fall, was elected at the Congress, 41 to 42 votes, I guess. He won Keba Jallow. But soon after, I mean, they said the Electoral Commission that conducted that election said Mr. Fall and his people have violated, that's how they put it, violated a section of the Constitution which was adopted at a Congress, well, by delegates, which they failed to obey or, to observe, and by virtue of that, their election is null and void. And in so doing, they said, the Electoral Commission said, therefore those who contested against them are automatically now qualified to fill in those positions. That's what they told us. What, according to you, is exactly what happened?
Thank you, Mr. Cham. Thank you, viewers, and I'm happy to be here today. To go straight to this point, Mr. Cham, look at it. Let's look at it logically. This is a Congress that the Independent Election Commission have asked political parties to do, so that to renew their mandates and set up their party structures properly. And this is what the PPP have done. To start with this petition of a thing you're talking about, before the petition, in fact, this undertaking they're talking about that is in the Constitution that some of us have violated. To rectify that, it is not in the Constitution. This is a proposed amendment that should be put in the Constitution for the party delegates to vote in, to bring normalities after Congress, because like you said, 3 consecutive times since the party was revived, we've been going through these problems after elections, after Congress.
Yes.
Now, the Central Committee that was led by our outgoing Secretary General Keba Jallow bring up this idea that why not we make an undertaking to help the party to not involve in such activities again.
That is quarrels after elections.
After elections. Now, we agree into that and bring up this suggested amendment, and we allow the reviewers of the Constitution to do it, but it should be in the Constitution when the delegates voted in, and that it has to be the 2/3 majority of the votes. But that did not pass.
So the amendment is asking, more or less, is asking that after elections, election disputes and stuff that should no longer happen.
Should no longer happen. Even they would happen, they have to exhaust the whole mechanism of the party
before they can go.
They can go to court.
So that was the amendment.
That was the amendment.
But that amendment itself needs to be passed by 2/3 majority.
Perfect. And that did not work, because when you look at the elections, when they voted for that amendment, it was 49 to 31.
49 to 31. Help me with the you are the one who.
You understand?
So
but that's not 2/3 already.
No,
That's
of
not
course.
2/3.
Yes, the total delegation
49 to 31.
31. The total delegations were 106, but others did not vote. Others
Abstain.
They abstained. So these are the people that voted. They voted for the Constitution. This one did not voted for it. So that is not 2/3 of the.
Yeah, Congress delegates. Yeah.
You understand? So it did not pass.
I see.
And before that, what the Central Committee said, all delegates should sign this undertaking before contesting elections. Before contesting elections.
I see.
But here, the Election Commission did not have that mandate to nullify a candidate. The mandate given to candidates to be nullified is the Central Committee. When the commissions assembled all the forms of the delegates, they passed it to the Central Committee. And the Central Committee did the vetting. They vetted until the elders of the Council of Elders that were there wrote a letter to us, the candidates, because I was one of the candidates.
Yeah, what did they say?
They wrote a letter to us, the candidates, that we are all qualified except that undertaking, but it will be signed during the Congress before election. Failure to do that, you will not be allowed. But during that election, that Congress, the Congress organizing committee did not bring any guideline to present such things there, and all of us did not sign, even Keba Jallow's camp, because there is no proof that they've signed to us there, where we will say that no, we will not sign. There was nothing like that argument there. So, and in fact, looking at this undertaking, it's all to our advantage. Because we, personally, I would not like to win or lose and go to court again.
So what if I understand, you said one, this resolution, number one, did not pass.
Here is
Okay, did not pass.
Thank you.
And even if it had passed,
Yes.
it was going to be brought to the election, Congress, before
election.
for everyone to sign.
To qualify you to be a candidate.
Before you can qualify, you have to sign.
Thank you.
But it was not brought on the election day.
In fact, there was no guideline.
There wasn't no guide. That itself was not there.
IEC were there, they witnessed all this. That thing was not displayed there.
So you don't even know who signed and who did not.
Absolutely not.
But after the election, they said you people did not sign.
After the elections, in fact, they all accepted this victory. They even, Keba Jallow even congratulated
Yes.
our Secretary General. So from there, they went and tried to find loopholes to be able to bring this kind of talk. It's a shame for me. In fact, I'm even ashamed to be here today.
So according to you, number one, the amendment that should be signed was not even passed.
Absolutely.
by 2/3 majority.
Not at all.
And then, in fact, it was not even brought into the election hall
Perfect.
for anybody to sign.
Others to sign and others refusing to sign.
Yeah, where okay, there was no occasion where others signed and others said no, we are not going to sign.
Not at all.
I see.
Not at all.
Because if that happened, I mean, you would have known from the beginning who those who signed and who didn't sign.
Thank you.
And you didn't see the other side signing.
Because that is what the Council of Elders said. It will be brought at the Congress, where we all should sign before the election. And nothing like that was displayed.
So the document was not even brought to the hall for anybody to sign.
There are records.
And for people to know who signed and who did not sign.
There are video records all over.
So after the election, now the electoral commission will come back to say, Mr. X, you did not sign.
In fact, if you will allow me in that area, the election commission, these petitioners should not even petition us. They should petition the election commissions. In every election, Mr. Cham, you know, there are rules where the election commission should be responsible of organizing rules that will guide all candidates.
The process, yeah.
Failure to do that, who should you blame? Are you going to blame the candidates or the commission?
The commission.
So they should petition the commission and take the commission to court. Now the commission, maybe they want to.
Where did they submit the petition?
They submitted the petition to the election commission, and the commission forwarded this petition to us. Personally, when they did that to me, I replied to them. I said, well, I'll be waiting for a meeting with you people. From there, I didn't hear anything. There we receive another letter from this so-called state coup that the losers, we are now the winners.
Automatically.
So I am thinking the commission wanted to compensate these people by just nullifying us, and they don't have that mandate. After the Congress, their mandate is over. And in fact, what happened before the Congress, there are the total number of commissioners in that election commission should be more than 7. They were 9. 3 resigned because of these abnormalities that were happening. You understand? 3 of them resigned.
Allegedly, because they know there are some underhands.
Perfect. They resign. Now, when they resign, there was a talk on this. In fact, there was something that they put in there to say all candidates should put forward a sum of money, 90,000, some 100, and
but as deposit.
As deposit. I'm telling you, but they are so smart. They said we are soliciting this from the candidates. So which means it was not a force. These are some of the criteria. So this brought a stand back for them until they made all this negotiation. Now they accepted all of us and passed all the form to the Central Committee. And the Central Committee finalized that we are all qualified, except that form, which I explained, it was not brought to us. Now this commission are not qualified again to give victory after the outcome of election. The same commission come back again and say we've nullified the winners and installing the losers. Mr. Cham, you've been a journalist for long. If that case happened in any country, what do you think would happen? Say much.
Thank God it's within a party.
Yeah, because it's an internal thing.
Let me hear. If IEC nullified an election, was it called for another one, or is just install the loser? No,
even if I don't even know in that instance, because even IEC, it's a different side.
I remember. No, it's the same. I remember in Malawi when the election was notified, they called for fresh election.
Of course.
Which opposition won. They didn't say those who lose.
They went for Joseph Wanda.
It's not like a football match where if
So yes, you look. Oh no, this one is interesting. But I mean, I've been following the conversation. But like he said, I mean, for many people, it seems like every PPP Congress, people are expecting that something else will come out of it.
Yeah.
And this one, the expectation was perhaps it will be different, because everything initially it went very smoothly. New guys were set up, and suddenly we saw a U-turn. and then you start looking at the reasons here and there. And today is, I mean, I'm hearing from one side, but I know Karafa.
And I think at this point I said twice I invited the other side. Last week and this week, I invited them twice to come, but they didn't come.
Yeah. And so,
our contention is that these people
did not sign
that resolution. But this guy is telling you that that resolution was not even passed. And even if they had passed, it should have been brought into the hall, and it was in there for anybody to sign and for us to know this one signed and this one didn't sign. Exactly. So after everybody went, then they come and said, these people have signed, you didn't sign.
Yeah, I mean, so the issue is like, I see that there are, invisible hands behind the scene trying to change a democratic process within a political party, and this is also the problems that we find quite often in some political parties, where some individuals, especially after Congress, Congress is everybody. Congress is all the people that own the party that comes there, and then they decide, everybody accept. So even if you are, even if you were cheated, at least at some point you have to give, time or process for that to follow. Yes. But to change. The verdict, and also for the commission itself to also say, okay, you just lost because you did not sign that, automatically even the votes that you get, you lose it because of that, and then that one, now the votes that you got is given to somebody else to win. That doesn't really make sense, and I don't think it has anything to internal party democratic process was taking place, and now others are trying to mess with that. For me, that's how I see it with this. Exactly. I mean, even without listening to him, but just following up, every year, PPP, Congress, Tuma, before that,
2018, Bakari Dabo and Papanjai claimed that, Papanjai, OJ's side, that was OJ was very well in the background, where he saw rest in peace, that they recruited illegitimate stakeholders and make them delegates. That's what was Bakari's contention. He went to court, and then Mbatmaras. Then Tumanjai in 2020 or 22. Tumanjai in Birkamaba.
Also court.
Yeah, also he marched out and said the election process was not free and fair. This time too is another.
No, but this time at least is at least they are the way. But this one, so now we know where the problem is mostly in this instance.
In fact,
this was Bakari Jambe and Bakari Dabo and Tumanjai.
Mr. Champ, Mr. Champ, this time
they have to an extent, but now it becomes clear. You will be doing certain things, but now we are seeing where the issue is, because now you lost, but you don't want to lose, so you want to. I mean,
so that's why.
But sometimes the more I don't give.
But do you think, so in the civil side, Gasamal, what do you think is so all this? I'm sorry about Mr. Sambou, but okay. It does look like the PPP. With all the impeccable record we said Jawara recorded under the PPP, is it not a shame or something that for a party like that to be in this kind of mess?
Yeah, I believe it's the same, and PPP is the oldest political party in our political dispensation, and they have governed this country for 30 good years. Everybody should expect that PPP should play the record straight, rather than entangle into this internal constitutional crisis, which is not helping them at all. Because if somebody like me, I have my voter's card, and I've seen them, they are committing these kind of things, how would they come on the ground and convince me to vote for them? I say, hold on, if they come into the government, these people will behave very badly, and my welfare, they wouldn't even care about it. So now the manifestation we are saying is not a serious party, because what they should have followed the rule of law, they should have followed their internal law, but they didn't do that. They are busy undermining each other, busy launching a coup d'etat so that they can consolidate their personal authority over the party. They grab it. So it's all about it, because the leadership now is putting PPP into a lot of mockery. I don't see that. And my confusion is, because when I followed this, I saw what Tumanjai, the crisis that happened. I saw the Papanjai and Baby Dabo stuff. I say PPP, they need to grow up. They are not a small party or a newly created party. They have a very good experience in politics. So they should have set a pace for other parties to follow them. But they're not doing that. They are behaving like if this is like a student union in a secondary school. I'm sorry to say that.
Somebody, you have to student union. Sorry about it. How are you going to, now that you, well, I don't know what the electoral commission will say again, but now that IEC, the Independent Electoral Commission, this time we're talking about the national one,
Yes.
was contacted by Karafa, and the IEC said, well, as far as they're concerned, they recognized the executive that was elected at the Congress, which is Mr. Sambou's executive. Okay, assuming you people are now the leaders, well, we have to say you are the leaders in the IEC.
Of course we are.
How are you going to now work to make this party not look like a student union or secondary school?
Yeah, Cham, thank you very much. I like my gentleman's comment in there. Yes, of course I will take it to be a criticism. You see, PPP is one of the parties that is practicing real democracy. Even though Gambia at large, we claim to understand democracy, but I don't think we do. But and PPP is one of the parties that change leadership democratically, and that is why we are facing all this kind of trouble. And I bet you, if any party goes through,
people can say that did not happen. Hence the coup d'etat of 94. If the party wanted to change hands peacefully, there wouldn't have been a coup d'etat.
Yeah, because
in a more recent sense, I guess.
Yeah,
like recently.
And what I mean when the time
parties.
Yeah, since the change of
government.
All that has been marked with controversy. That's what we're saying.
No, of course, yes. That is why I'm telling you. That's the democracy they are fighting.
I understand now.
Because yeah, in democracy you have the freedom to, like this petitioner, they are free to express what they feel like, but they have to do it in the legal way.
Yeah.
Not setting up a coup d'etat like this. You understand? So what I'm trying to say is, if any party in this Gambia have the same process we are doing, it's going to be a different scenario. Because look at the first Congress, Papanjai and Bibi Dab. It was the election dispute, the outcome of the election.
Yeah.
And that did not stop the PPP from flowing. But whilst Bibi Dabo is on court, and then nothing happened, he formed his own party. Kebajallo and Tuma, the same thing. Election, the outcome of the election
was
dispute. The PPP was still going on, and Tumanjai was with us in court. In fact, she came up victorious before our next Congress.
In some aspects.
In some aspect, thank you. You know that, and this is what is happening now. So I believe if the PPP wants achieve a peaceful election, internal election, and it is stable, it will be one of the best parties in this country. I bet you.
Many people believe that you people, your leader, for example, I have had that criticism, is in the United States of America. Most of your executives are in the US. How can you be in the US and want to run a political party?
Thank you very much. Mr. Cham, we are in the era of technology.
Technology?
No, yes.
The people in my village doesn't know technology.
They
will not know who
they are. But they have WhatsApp.
What I mean, it's not the WhatsApp of a thing. And party leader is ceremonial. He's not the party.
Yeah, but if in the Gambia, if you are a leader, you are not around.
That is Gambia.
What he said.
I'm talking about the institution.
Barrow said if he goes, his party is not going to grow.
That's what I'm saying.
I think the issue is...
That is what I'm saying. In fact, that is where the diasporians should also know that PPP have set a pace to prove what they are fighting for. People think that people think that the diasporians are out there. The only thing they can do is to give money, and that's all.
And come and cause confusion.
And come and cause confusion. Now we've proved to them that you can be out there and do something better.
And there's nothing stopping them.
And nothing stopping them. I'm betting all of you here. If things stabilize, you will see. In fact, what we are doing right now, I know you will come to that. What we are doing right now has never happened within the PPP. Yes, the activities we are involved in has never happened.
You were in province last week. What were you doing?
Perfect. We had locally called Kulio. We had somebody that took one of our acting chairman, regional chairman, as a father. So the whole group that Women Kafu wanted to just join PPP direct. In fact, they sponsored themselves. They provided food, T-shirts, everything. We spent no dime there. We only took a gift for them. So you understand? So we went there and met them. It was it has never happened within the PPP.
I also understand that you guys are trying to attract, let's say, sons and grandchildren of prominent members of the party.
That is exactly true. Lamin, PPP, we all agree here.
Wouldn't that give you a picture of, trying to, be exclusive instead of being inclusive?
No, we are not attracting. In fact, they are the one coming. It is their party.
I mean, they are taking responsibility.
Perfect. Because that is the root of the Gambia. PPP is the root of all the political parties. UDP and all stuff, all emerge from PPP. You all know that. So if they feel that the PPP is now getting a good stand, obviously they will be coming. Self-attraction, we are not attracting them. They are taking ownership.
Okay, I think there is something very fundamentally. If you people keep entangling yourself into this internal fighting, there is no way through you will go. You will stuck at one place. The problem is, what is your vision towards future? And how would you be able to become a serious contender in 2026 election? That should start now. People should identify who is UDP main leader and what PPP, sorry. What is your vision? What do you have for the Gambian people? That's the groundwork you need to start now. If you don't have the resources to participate in the election fully, you could probably cause you up to be part of a coalition. But again, if you people are busy launching a coup d'etat, fighting each other, Gambian will say that, hold on. Even the prominent former members of PPP, you think that their relatives will be busy saying that, okay, let us go because my dad and my uncle and other things belong to PPP. No. PPP, as you can see now, is on a coffin. If you people don't be serious, you're going to nail it and bury it. Trust me, it's not going to be relevant in the Gambian politics. Even the smaller parties with the likes of Obey and other things, they are becoming more relevant. So you need to sort out your leadership crisis and make sure that have a vision. Tell the Gambian people this is what we want, and then mount a campaign. People will know that, but otherwise, fighting.
All right, Mr. Sambou, we will come back to your plans now.
Okay.
To do the PPP.
Thank you.
Okay. Since we have all had our say on the PPP, we'll come back to you and say that. Now, you have had what Barrow said not long ago in an interview with QTV. He said he had considered not to contest in 2026, but his party people feel that he should go ahead, otherwise the party is too young. The party may risk the survival of the party may be problematic if he leaves now. It's too soon. Well, his critics said now he didn't bother about the country now, he bothered about his party. That if he really truly considered to go, he shouldn't have think about his party's interest, but the national interest. Jawara did similar things in December 1991 in Mansakonko and the PPP Congress. He announced that he intends to go. Everybody cried, some cried wolf, others cried genuinely, said he should stay. And we know what happened. Now, what do you make of Barrow's statement?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Cham. I think I might not delve into the internal affairs of the NPP per se, but Barrow's statement, if I will use our governing body, that is the Constitution, did the Constitution allow him to contest? Yes, if the Constitution allow him to contest, he's free to speak whatever he wants to say. He can say that I own this party, if I leave this party, let this party die, but it depends on the people of his party, the NPP. If they feel like if Barrow goes, there will be no, the party will be stabilized. Therefore, why not we maintain him as far as the Constitution, the governing body of the country, allows him to go? So I don't have an issue in that area. But if the Constitution said no, he's not qualified to stand, I tell you, PPP will be one of the people that will come forward, like our Honorable OJ, peace be with him. That's what he used to say. If PPP, if it were PPP to die for Gambia to go, I will kill PPP. That's what he used to say.
So the Constitution at the moment doesn't have any provision that will legally block him
from going.
Yeah, but you are not worried that the principle and standards that everybody envisaged in ECOWAS, in sub-region, for good governance, for stability of nations, political stability of nations, and morally, 2-term limits is what is the standard all over. You are not worried that Barrow, is not trying to respect
not to use the word not worried. I'm a Gambian. Of course I should be worried, but looking at it, this is Gambia at large. We should all know the moral aspect and go into that ballot box and prove our morality and our love for the country. But we are the same people that will go and vote for him there. And we will be the same people sitting in this same platform and say he's not qualified, he's 2-term limit. But bet you if I was the one sitting down there, I would have even gone for more than 2 terms.
Oh, you.
What I'm trying to say is, it's us the Gambians should understand and prove that democratically on the ballot box.
So I take your point that, if Barrow may have constitutional right to contest, if he doesn't see the moral lesson,
perfect,
and doesn't want to take the moral route, so it depends on the Gambian people,
perfect,
to teach him a lesson,
wonderful,
or to approve him to go.
Here you go.
Say, you know, the PPP man. You say
in summary, that's my view.
Exactly.
But for me, the point is like this should not surprise us in the first place. I mean, it was 3 years, 5 years that they was given another extra thing. And all those things will continue to happen. But the bigger question that we need to ask ourselves is our 1997 constitution. How far have we gone with constitutionalism, with the reform? Both the 2020 draft and this 2024 draft, they talk about presidential term limit. Everybody here, you ask, we want presidential term limit. But, wanting and getting what you want is a different stuff, I guess. Because you have to go for it, you have to take action, you have to look at that. And I hear the debate on the principle, morality, and all those things, which is fine, which is part of it, which is what we should advocate for. And even the self-perpetuating rule from the 2016, this was the conversation. But what happened along the process? Now all you are saying is all politicians are trying to fix themselves ahead 2026, and now it will be more on the moral question. But what morality, whose morality are we talking about?
Absolutely.
And this is what, so at the end of the day now, what we have is like the law is saying this, and when the law speaks, everybody should, people can free. And anything that he has to do, it is going to be on himself. But how can we prevent him from contesting now? That his party now, that you're supposed to, these people are fighting over who's supposed to take over the party. But this other party are united and saying that this one, because at some point also, we need to also understand how parties works and function.
Perfect.
Tomorrow too, and there are other people that are saying UDP leader should not start. But if the party bring him, who am I to say that he should not start? Some people are accusing of age and all those different stuff. So we need to also, for me, at some point, I say, political parties, yes, you exist, but you're supposed to exist for our collective interest, but you also have a niche, things that you have a responsibility, or you have your own area where you also need to function. And that's why all these different internal, I like it that way, so that some of these things that are supposed to get to us in society is kind of controlled within those parties. That's why we are setting up all this different stuff. But today at the national level, we are talking about presidential election. We can do academic debates here, he should have a principle, he should have that, but for me, we are having 1997 constitution. How many times have I come to your show and talk about a new constitution? And what are we talking about now? Reject or approve? So what is the debate? But what he conclude, for me, that's also where my conclusion is. Everybody, the president has the right to go for another term, but I also have my vote.
Perfect.
My vote, whether to give him that term or not.
To give him that term or not.
Yeah.
So the issue is on me. It's not again on what he wants.
I took that route and regretted it.
Yeah.
It's for me as a civil society, it's the only way I can. I cannot come here. It's a morality. He has to do this. He has to do that. I have to base my discussion on the reality, and the reality is our 1997 constitution. But that same 1997 constitution empowered him, but it also empowers all of us. And voting is one way to confirm, and so people can decide that if that term or term limit is so important to them, they don't need a law to tell them that.
No way.
They are the ones that can do
this. In fact, it can be one term.
Exactly.
They can even be divorced. They can even make it one term.
At some point,
it's
difficult because it's a transition. You don't know whether even it's a transition again. So everything is confused right now within the political phase. And even this constitution that we are looking now, the minute Barrow mentioned that term. You know, for me, even that conversation is overtaken now because of that. Now everything is 2026.
Yes.
So the issue for me that, I mean, let's manage our expectation.
Perfect.
It was 3 years first, then 5, then 10. Okay.
Yeah, let's meet at the ballot box.
Guess what?
Yes.
How do you people in the diaspora think? You are the people who caused confusion, they said.
Well, obviously.
What do you make of his statement?
Well, for me, when it comes to Barrow, I'm not here to set a moral standard for anybody because I expect to conform to the society norms and values.